Libra sun sign, rising sign, and or moon sign. This is a 2-week reading for all you Libras, and it's starting today, the 8th of November, 2023. Moderating today, we are streaming live, by the way, on YouTube and on Twitch. Moderating today on YouTube is the lovely Suzanne, and moderating on Twitch is the lovely Diane. Thank you so much, Suzanne, and thank you so much, Diane, and thank you to all you Libras and friends of Libras for joining us today. I'm reading today with the Keymaster Tarot. It's a beautiful deck, and I've already purified with this Centuries Verbena by Cosmo Mazzi. You can find out where to purchase those products in the video description of this very video on my YouTube channel. And if you are watching on YouTube on a restream, you can fast forward through the shuffling if you don't want to watch it, simply by using the timestamps in the video. This is a general reading for all signs for today, the 8th of November 2023. Not general, I'm sorry. It's a 2-week reading for all Libras, sun sign, rising sign, and or moon sign starting today, the 8th of November 2023, going out to all you Libras, whether you're watching live or on a restream. So that can end up being a lot of Libras watching this stream. So if for some reason it doesn't seem to apply to you, don't force it. It's probably not meant for you. In that case, check out the Zodiac readings for your other signs. Or remember that you have that we all have a general reading every day except for Monday. You can find the most recent readings right on the website, ariels-corner.com, Ariel's Corner with a hyphen.com. Just click on the free online tarot readings link in the main menu. If you're watching on YouTube, please make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. If you're watching on Twitch, please make sure you follow us on Twitch. You can watch on Twitch without ads when you subscribe to us. You can go to our shop at arielscornershop.com. arielscornershop.com. That's our shop. It's an affiliate store where we make a small commission off of each and every sale. Another way to support us is with a donation, and you can do that by going to paypal.me/arielgatoga. paypal.me/arielgatoga. On YouTube, you could use a super sticker, super chat, or super thanks, or you can go over to our website for other donation options. Ariels-corner.com, Ariel's Corner with a hyphen.com. Just check in the footer of any page, and you can see that donate link. All right. Thank you so much again, Libras, for joining us today. Let's get to it, shall we? All right, gorgeous Libras, here is a 2-week reading, starting with the 2 of Cups, followed by the 10 of Swords, Oy vey. Oh, good, and then the 3 of Wands. Well, this is not a good day for a lot of you, but the good news about the 10 of Swords is that it's whatever it is, it's over. It's not going to get any worse. It's going to get better. So whatever this 10 of Swords is, you don't want to you want to do your best not to dwell on it, whatever it is. And also, if you want to optimize the lesson from here, it's really important for you to look at, whenever you get the 10 of Swords, what your part in it was, because the 10 of Swords is not something that happens to you, because the key phrase of the 10 of Swords is live by the sword, die by the sword. So a lot of times when we have 10 of Swords experiences, they're just kind of some painful experiences. One of the best things we can do, other than recognize that it's over and move on, is to avoid this again in the future by asking ourselves, in what way was I involved with this? In what way did I help, at least, or was I at least somewhat complicit in this? So that you can remove your part of it, so that you don't have to recreate that again. Now, the good news is, like I said, it's over. Or at least it's ending, and where you're headed is much more positive. You're finally getting to that place that, and I have a feeling that that's what this was about. The place that you've been sort of working toward, especially for those of you doing work and career, you're really getting to the goals manifesting finally. You know, it just seems like this hard, long road. It's like, when will this ever happen? It looks like it is happening, or you know, that's where you're headed, and it looks like you've at least got your foot in that doorway of things coming to fruition that you've been working on for so long. And it's very possible that this 10 of Swords experience was as a result of you not feeling good enough about yourself. because this Two of Cups is usually, what's wrong with me? Why can't I get this to work? There's something very wrong with me. And that's not a healthy question. It's not a healthy question. What's wrong with me? It's not that there's anything wrong with you. Because if you, whatever you ask and seek and ye shall find. Right? Knock and it will be opened unto you. People don't understand that that's not only saying, oh, can I please have this? Can I please have that? It's not even necessarily that. It's whatever you ask for is what you're going to find. So if you're asking what's wrong with me, then you're going to, your mind is going to manufacture all kinds of things. And I have a feeling that that's what this Ten of Swords is you asking that question or some version of it. And I'm going to let you in on a secret, Libra. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you. You have the same kind of ego that the rest of us have. So yeah, you manufacture problems just like we all do. But you don't do it any better than anybody else. We all do that. So there's nothing specifically wrong with you other than you're part of the human race, right? You're not worse than we are as far as that goes. But your inherent, your essential qualities, there's nothing wrong with you. So be careful of being so impatient with yourself, because your ego is only too happy to just say, oh, you want me to tell you what's wrong with you? And not only list it for you, but to bring in circumstances to prove to you there's a lot wrong with you. Don't buy it. Don't buy it. That's your ego's game. So whatever these problems are, whatever these situations are, just know that they're over, and that a lot of them, I'm not saying that and I'm not trying to, don't blame, that's just going back to this Two of Cups, don't blame yourself for them. That's not what we're saying when we're saying what was my part in this. But don't help yourself back into those problems by coming from the premise that there's something wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you. There's absolutely nothing wrong with you. I'm not saying that there aren't things that you need to work on. Yes, there are things in your personality, like I said, just like all of us, that can be upgraded and fixed and bettered. And you can, that's wonderful that you're interested in that. But this idea that essentially there's something wrong with my soul, there's something just this bad about me, that sort of question, that's not a healthy question, because it's based on a false premise. That's why when a lot of people ask me questions on like YouTube and stuff like that, they'll ask something and they get disappointed when I don't answer them. I'll say, I don't understand that question. You need to rephrase that question. Because if the part of getting an answer is, how do you ask the question? How are you, if your questions are leading questions like what's wrong with me, then your ego is very happy to show you, what its litany of things that it wants to prove to you that are wrong with you. But if your question is, how can I improve myself? How can I improve my life? What can I do better? That's totally a different question. Your ego doesn't like that one, so your spirit will come in and tell you, oh, we can help you with that. So glad you asked. We can help you with that. Right? So be careful of the premise of your questions that you're asking yourself. There's another one. How come nothing ever works for me? That's a very, very loaded question. And your ego is going to say, oh, yay, I will help you with that. Right? So be careful of these questions. And this is in your past. This isn't what you're doing now. This is what you have done. But what happens when you get the what's wrong with me and how come nothing ever works for me, you're knocking on doors you don't want opened. Instead, you can say, like I said, instead of saying, well, what can I do? How can I be better? How can I improve? What can I do to make everything even better? And show instead of how come nothing ever works for me, a better question is how can I help things work out better for me? How can I help things work out even better for me? That's a whole different question. Your ego can't help you with that one. Thank goodness. So this Eight of Hearts is the heart of this Ten of Swords. It's saying the reason why you have this going on with you is because of the attitude you are carrying about yourself. Now, you may disguise that attitude about yourself as being an attitude about other people, but the twos don't lie. The twos don't lie. The twos say that that you're just not, that you don't believe that you're good enough, that you don't believe that you're where you need to be, that there's something very wrong with you. And if you can't let go of that, if you can't let go of that premise, then you just stay stuck. But you can let go of that premise, and you are letting go of that premise, but sometimes you forget and you fall back into old patterns. And when that happens, the ego wants to beat you up for that. So don't let that happen. Don't let yourself beat yourself up. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's a very misguided way of being that you picked up a long time ago, thinking that somehow that you're being, noble or something. And it's not noble at all to beat yourself up. And it's not noble to beat yourself up and then get convoluted about it so that you can't bust yourself on it, right? Whatever ways that you're being clever about beating yourself up, none of them are valid. None of those things are valid. And the only response to that is to stop it. It's the only response. And then forgive yourself. It's not that you're bad. It's just you didn't know any better. Nobody told you, oh, by the way, you can stop that now. Whoever taught you to beat yourself up, you can forgive them too, because they didn't know any better. Usually it's our mom or our dad. They were beating themselves up. Well, how did they learn that? Well, their mom and their dad, it's what we call a generational curse or a familial curse. It gets passed on and passed on and passed on. And if you pass that on to your kids, you can forgive yourself for that too. It's not your fault. But the only thing that you have to worry about right now is not them. It's you. That's all you have to worry about right now is you. You're not responsible. Just like your parents aren't responsible for how you picked that up and ran with it. It's not their problem. They did their best, whatever. It's up to you if you're going to forgive them and cut ties with that tendency or not. And I really get that you are doing that. I really get that you are, because this wouldn't be working out so well over here for you. And then there's the solar light. The solar light takes care of all of it for you. And you don't have to call it that. You can call it what you want. But if you do want to work with the solar light, you can use one of my solar light meditations. And we don't have any trump cards here, but that is the one spiritual assistance card that has come in. But the rest of it is not that big of a deal for you to really need anything other than to recognize what you're doing. It's really not that big of a deal. It's just that the ego likes to put sand in the gears. And part of what I think the ego wants to put sand in the gears about is your career. Because you see, I think for you or your job or whatever this is, creative work, whatever is important to you work-wise, you see, because if you succeed and you get to where you've been heading for so long, and once you really kind of get there and you try that on like a suit of clothes and you wear it and you like it, the ego has failed. The ego has failed in its job, and so it doesn't want to fail in its job. It wants to keep you stuck, and so it's going to use whatever it can. And right now, it seems to be trying to harken back to the ancient days where you had such low self-esteem, and you've been working on that for so long that you can recognize it for what it is now and not buy into it. So stop asking yourself leading questions and start asking yourself the right questions. How can I be happy? How can I be healthy? How can I be successful? How can I have peace of mind? Those kinds of questions. Those are good, healthy questions, not what's wrong with me? What's taking so long? How come nothing ever works for me? Those kinds of questions are not healthy questions. So asking yourself good questions, knocking on the right doors, recognizing that it's the attitude that you carry that is going to keep propelling you toward the success that seems inevitable because you've been working on it for so long. But like I said, the ego does like to try to put sand in the gears, but that's up to you. The ego has no power over you. The only power the ego has over you is your ability to let it in. That's where that whole that ancient myth of the vampire can't come into your house unless you invite it in. It's not really talking about vampires. It's talking about the ego mind. It's talking about tendencies and habits. And so you're gonna nip that one in the bud, and you're gonna do great. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you so much to the amazing moderators, Suzanne and Diane. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Libra, next time. Blessed be.